Hey there, Stampin' Friends. Welcome to Movie Monday with Jody Breckbill, Stampin' Queen. We are going to play with the Beautiful World suite today. This is one that was one of my first purchases on the pre-order, and I really haven't had a lot of time to work with it because the sunflowers and the ferns showed up, and I started really loving the flowers. But I wanted to pull in this one because it's feels like to me it leans towards a little bit more masculine and graduation and that kind of thing. So we're going to do Beautiful World. This is the card we're going to create today using one of our new ink colors, Whisper White, and we've got Cinnamon Cider. And absolutely loving this brown. It's right in between what we needed in our family. So we've got Beautiful World. This is the stamp set that coordinates with my bundle here. And here we go. So you can check it out here. These are all the stamped images that you'll get in your set. And of course, then these are the coordinating dies that you'll have. This one's really cool because it is like a debossed image, which is pretty neat. So that creates a fun background. And then you've got the world, the globe, and all that good stuff. So super, super excited about this suite. We're also going to use the Old World embossing folder. Now, I've done that ahead of time, but this is a great embossing folder. It looks almost like kind of an old crumpled piece of paper. You could do lots of distressing with this, and so I think that is going to be super fun to play with. So let's go ahead and get started. Of course, I'm up here. We've got my online store. You can shop 24/7. There's the host code for June, so you can have orders shipped directly to you at any time. So we're going to start with a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I have that cut at 5.5 by 8.5, so that's just a half a sheet. And then I have a piece of Cinnamon Cider and Whisper White. So our Cinnamon Cider piece is 3 3/4 by 5. So one thing you guys may notice is that I don't have the dimensions in here anymore, and there's a reason for that, and that reason is called really, really bad Wi-Fi because you live in the country. So I'm having trouble being able to edit my videos as well as upload. It's literally shutting down the Wi-Fi in my house and taking hours and hours and hours to do. And it's just not feasible for me to do that anymore. And so what I am doing now is direct recording right to YouTube, and that is saving me. That uploads in about 10 minutes. So it's a great thing, but I don't have the editing ability anymore. So I'm going to try and tell you what I'm doing, and then you can also go look in the description of the video, and I'm going to put the information there. So a little bit of a change in how I had to run things, but you know, you got to do what you got to do, and that happens when you're kind of country living out on the farm. So one thing I also want to encourage you guys to do is follow me on Facebook at Jody Breckbill Stampin' Queen. That is my Facebook page, and I a lot of times will post these items on here as well as other tutorials and videos and lives and that kind of thing. So hop on over to the face page, hit me up at Jody Breckbill Stampin' Queen, and visit me there. So I'm going to show you, I've got my new Stampin' Seal here who has a little bit of a glue dot stuck on him. Got a little snot dot stuck on ya. So I have been playing with this. There's definitely a little bit of a learning curve with it. Love the handle. I love the fact that it's lightweight. I love the grip. And we were having trouble with snail. It just was not adhering real well. And so we had to move on to something else. So we have our Stampin' Seal. Of course, this is refillable. This is the regular seal. We also have a Seal Plus, which is very similar to our Fast Fuse. But what I am finding is I do have to give it a little bit of roll when I want to get started, and no more check marking. And that's a habit that I have, is I kind of still want to do that check mark, and so that causes a little bit of an issue when I try to do that. So I really am liking the adhesiveness of this. It adheres well where everything is stuck very well, but then I have had to peel some things off, and it is okay. It's not really creating a huge issue. So I've got, here's that embossing folder I was telling you about. So it just looks like a crumply piece of paper. And just imagine that all distressed. You could kind of distress your edges and do some sponging and just create some cool looks with that. And this piece is 3.5 by 4 3/4. And so I'm just going to attach that to my cinnamon piece. I do find I'm not using as much as I had been when I was using my snail. And you'll also see there's a little bit of a price increase on the Stamp & Seal, but keep in mind, I think you're getting like 3 or 4 more yards than what you had. So using less, more in the container, and there's not as much waste. That was one thing that we were finding too, was that a lot of it, the snail was still sticking to the inside. So I really am very, very pleased with this. So now I'm just going to run a strip across here. Sometimes you get those little boogers still, and that's when I'm finding that I need to just do a little bit of a roll to get it up there, but it's not too bad. Why aren't you going? You have a booger stuck down there, that's why. There you go. All right, so I'm just going to take some cinnamon cider ribbon, and this is, did I mention this is one of our new in colors? Oh, do I love the in colors, all of them. And they work so well together, so pretty together. So I did cut these a little short. I was feeling very skimpy today. And I cut my ribbon super, super short. But I'm just gonna tack, I think, let me see here. I need to just do a little bit right there. Come on, tack around there. Do what you're supposed to. There we go. So now I can put some actually on my ribbon so that it doesn't roll off. But if you're making this at home, I'm going to highly suggest don't be skimpy like me. Give yourself a little bit of room there. Okay. So then the next step is, oh shoot, I put my ribbon on first. So back that up, pretend I didn't do that. We're gonna see if I can make this work. I think I can. I took some of our designer series paper and I cut little 1.5 inch, can I slide that under there? I think I can make this work. So you would want to, if you're doing this at home, make sure you put your DSP on before you add your ribbon. I'm recording and I don't feel like going back and redoing and editing, so you guys are just gonna watch me flail around for a little bit. All right, so I took new designer series paper and I cut that at 1.5 inch squares. So I did 2 different patterns. So one kind of looks a little bit like wood, a little bit of wood grain, and the other almost reminds me of linen maybe, or maybe denim. You could use the polka dots if you wanted, and the words, your choice, dealer's choice. And I just put them together and did them opposite. So I'm going to slide that down in there, make them match up a little. That worked out fine. I've made worse mistakes than that. Holy cow. All right, we did up. Okay. Oh, you slid a little bit. Slide you back over so that they're touching. Make sure that's good and stuck down there. Oh, I'm rocking the table. Yes, I am. All right, so the next thing that I did was I used those die cuts and I cut out one of the globes and one of the little stands. Now I'm going to show you some other ideas, and there's a big stand that goes with this too. Now I do want this to be on dimensional, so all I'm going to do is put my little teeny, my baby dimensionals here. Here's one that I just cut and he looks like it'd be perfect for right there. And then I'm going to do the same on the little stand. So this would be a stand if your globe was on your desk. And then we have one, a big tall one, like if your globe stood on the floor. All right, so we're just going to stick this right here. And then I'm going to put my globe in there. And I did offset it a little bit just so that it wasn't too straight. There we go. Now I have a little piece of white here, and I'm going to pull in some Memento Black and stamp my sentiment. And this piece is, what did I cut this one? 3/4 by 2.5. And I actually think I'm going to notch the edge. On my sample card, I did not, but this one I'm going to. So I need to grab a punch. So hold on one sec. You can totally do that with scissors, but I don't like to because I can't. I like perfection. And so I like to use this punch right here. Slide it right in there, and it does a perfect little notch. Tailored tag punch, I believe that one's called. It's been a while since I've used it, but I love it for making those little notches. And let's just, I'm going to use some of these ends here. I don't like to waste them, and they aren't mini anymore. They're long strips, so I'm going to use those for my sentiment. Okie dokie pokey. Put you on there. I'm going to have it just kind of go over the globe just a little bit and over top of those ribbons. And then my final step is we have some really cute in color, oh, I've been stamping in blue, in color enamel dots. And so I'm going to use those right here in the corner. Now, last I did check, these guys are not available. They sold out super, super quick. And so we do have some shipments coming. So there you go. Isn't that such a really quick, super sweet card, perfect for graduation, somebody who's getting ready to travel the world, missionary, all, you know, it really lends itself to all kinds of card giving. So we've got that one, and then here's what I've been working on in the studio as well. I used the cinnamon cider as well as the Just Jade on this one. This one a little bit more pop of color, still using our in colors, the magenta, jade, and the misty moonlight. And then I've got cinnamon cider back here. This one's all 5 of them all together. And then I made these at an event that I had. So there's that tall stand I was telling you about. We've got this one right here, and then this one right here. So thanks so much for joining me, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week. Stop back here next week, and I will see you for Movie Monday.